I think it's important to like build a character, because otherwise you could just exchange the rig and it will all like, there is nothing personal about it, because we build characters and not just a performance. So I think this is really important, to stay true to the nature of the character.
If you have a character that needs to have a specific way of doing things, then you need to find their new unique way of moving. So instead of like doing like a very expected, like if you get tired, you will like do a very like tired face, then maybe you will do something else that's very unique to your character.
If you notice even closely, I think you will see that an introvert gonna interact totally different from a shy introvert, and not an antisocial introvert. You know what I mean? There are very, very small changes.
Consistency of character, or them being like consistent throughout time, and really caring about the character's story arc, not just the individual shots. So just like keeping track of the character, if they have specific ways of using their hands or specific gestures, specific ways of using their face, and also if this changes throughout time, and just making sure that this character always feels like themselves throughout what they're going through in the story.
Because an audience will notice like the movement, like the language movement and stuff like that of each character, and they will recognize it. And if you can't distinguish like how a character from another character moves, then it gets boring to look at.
If we want to represent realism in animation, I think we need to face the rig, the character, as a person and not as a mannequin that performs a specific action or a specific acting. So in my perspective, we should vibe a bit with the character, like not only read the script or, I don't know, record references, but actually give some time, even if this is 1-2 days, you know, to feel, to think. Because one of the biggest mistakes that animators made is just they want to jump into Maya and just try to manipulate all the curves and the controllers for portfolio reasons or acting reasons or to be the good animator. But I think be imperfect and give some time before you open Maya. It's not only reading the script, but try to understand and reflect, maybe.
I think that's like the core of acting and of animation, right? Is to be able to understand how the person you're trying to represent is feeling.
I wanted to be the character or become the character. I'm diving into its personality, how it reacts, and how I would move if I was a certain character. Yeah, you dive deeper into the character's mentality and its psychological elements, because we are actually dealing with acting with subtle animation, which comes into more like realistic characters, and realistic characters also evolve with more than just happy, sad.
It's not just physicality and everything more scientific, like center of gravity and everything else. It's also just the headspace, the mindset. I've always lived as a woman for society, and that really sets me mentally in a whole other direction. And even if maybe the shot isn't something that you would think, oh, it's not that deep. So it's always that deep. In a way, it's always that deep.
If this situation that you read reminds you something that you have experienced, or if you remember someone in your group of friends, family, like in a random situation in the bus, you know. So if you can recall something like that, how do you think that this person would think, feel? Because if we notice kind of more closely the people, there are some, you know, undercover a bit messages, you know.
Every shot, every animation has to have an identity. Otherwise, it's just a style.
you.